Hello, my name is William Kunish. I'm the chairperson of the Board of Adjustment, and I will be presiding over the board's deliberations on hearing items this evening. The Board of Adjustment is an impartial body made up of residents of the town of Prescott Valley who volunteer their time and efforts and are guided by state and local rules and regulations. This evening's proceedings will be conducted using the following format. First, I will read the hearing application into record. Following the identification of the hearing application, staff will present the case and their recommendations to the board, after which questions from the Board of Adjustment will be directed to staff regarding the case. After the board initially reviews the application, the floor will be opened for comment, at which time the applicant will have an opportunity to comment regarding the matter and answer any questions. It is at this point that I will open the floor to general comments from the public regarding the case before the board. I ask that you direct your pertinent comments to the board through the chairperson and not to the applicant, staff, or individuals within the audience. I would also appreciate your cooperation in making your statements brief and to the point, as I may exercise the prerogative to confine public comment if need should there be considerable public involvement in the case. I would like to call the April 22nd, 2024 Board of Adjustment meeting to order. I would like to note for the record town staff present this evening: Chris Norlock, planner; John Jacobson, planner; Roxanne Johnson, principal planner; Carmela David, administrative specialist; Kelly Campbell, administrative specialist; and Stephen Zrak, deputy town attorney. Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairperson Kunish.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Pattison.
Here.
Member Schaefer.
Here.
Member Carson.
Here.
Member Houle.
Here.
We have a quorum.
And I'd like to make a brief announcement that we have a new member, Robert Hull, and we are welcoming him to the Board of Adjustment tonight.
Thank you.
Look forward to serving with you. At this time, any member of the public is allowed to address the Board of Adjustment on any issue within the jurisdiction of the board, except for items scheduled for a public hearing at this meeting. The speaker may have up to 3 minutes to speak. Any persons wishing to address the board must complete a speaker card, which is located at the rear of the auditorium, and deliver it to the clerk prior to this agenda item being called. Pursuant to the Arizona Open Meeting Law, at the conclusion of the call to the public, individual members of the board may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the board and may ask staff to review the matter or may ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda. However, members of the board shall not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. Are there any announcements from staff or the board?
Vice Chair Pattison, did you want to say anything tonight?
I turned in my resignation tonight. I'll be stepping down due to the fact that I'm moving here in the next month or two out of state. So I'll have to resign my position. Thanks for the opportunity to serve the community, and I'll miss coming here on Mondays at the end of the month.
And Vice Chair Pattison, the board thanks you for your service as well.
Thank you.
Are there any additional announcements from staff or the board? Seeing none. If the board has reviewed the February 26, 2024 minutes, I ask if there are any corrections to the minutes. Hearing none, I will ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting as written.
Second it.
And Madam Clerk, ask for a roll call vote.
Member Schaefer?
Yes.
Member Houle?
Yes.
Chairperson Kunish.
Yes.
I'll vote to approve also.
I'm sorry about that. Yes, Member Carson
Yes.
and Vice Chairperson Pattison.
Yes.
We will now move on to the public hearing item this evening. Variance V23005, upon the application of Robert and Jerry Baker, property owners, a request for a variance per section 1329040C and 1320010D of the Town of Prescott Valley zoning ordinance in order to allow deviations from setbacks due to hardship caused by a corner lot. The subject property is located at 10497 East Old Black Canyon, Prescott Country Club, Unit 6, Lot 63, APN number 402-26063. At this time, if the staff would care to make their presentation.
Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board. Like you said, this is a variance request for a reduction of the rear setback at 10497 East Old Black Canyon Highway. It is in the country club on the corner there of Old Black Canyon. The applicant is requesting a 1.2 inches rear setback reduction to be able to enclose an existing open patio. The setbacks in this area is 25 feet. Staff believes that the irregularity of the home's orientation, along with the code requiring the front yard be the shortest of the two sides on a corner lot, are the hardships of this lot, and staff recommends approval on this, and I will take any questions.
Does any member of the board have any questions for staff?
I do. Chairman, what is the hardship involved here?
Just the way that the home was oriented, how it was oriented to the corner and not towards a one-sided street or the other, and then also that our code chooses your front and your side and rear setback by the shortest side. So when you go to build, you don't have that option to choose. It's already chosen for you.
But if the house was turned square in the lot, it would have probably made the setback.
Correct, and that was, yeah, that's correct.
I guess a question I have also is, can the existing patio be used as it was intended?
Yes, it's currently being used as an open patio.
Okay.
Does this proposed enclosure expand the size of the patio in any way?
It is not. It's just going to be basically 3 walls and windows to kind of make it like an Arizona room.
By enclosing it, it encroaches into the setback.
It encroaches into that 25 feet.
Not encroach.
That's correct. We have something in the code that says an open patio is allowed to encroach into the rear setback.
Do you maintain that this still is not a self-imposed hardship, even though the placement of the home on the lot was determined by whoever was in
The
control of the
original
property?
homeowner?
Right.
Yes, staff believes, yes, staff will stick with that.
I mean, homeowners can choose, sometimes they choose for sunset, sunrise, which way they want the house to go in the lot, you know, so.
And I believe looking at the application, part of the decision in situating the house this way on the lot was due to view, is that right?
I don't actually know why it was put this way. I don't know if the applicant knows. I don't know if he wasn't the original home owner.
Is it ever asked, like, neighbors, do they care? I mean, if you impede the setbacks?
It was noticed, and we had one neighbor reach out just for asking for the plans. I sent it to them and had no further comments from them.
They don't obviously care if they didn't give any feedback.
Yeah, I figured either they would reach out to me with any further questions or show up tonight to speak on that behalf.
Are there any additional questions from the board? Seeing none, I will now invite the applicant to address the board. Would like to do so.
Thank you. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have, but first of all, I think I should apologize to the board for making you all come out here on such a beautiful
Before
night.
you begin, let me ask you to state your name and address for the record.
Of course. My name is Roger Baker. The address is 10497 East Old Black Canyon Highway with the mailing address of Dewey, but you know how that goes. So again, I had no idea we would have this kind of a setting and an entourage for such a fairly trivial matter. But I appreciate you taking the time after 30 years in local government. I well appreciate the value of boards and commissions, and I appreciate you taking your role seriously. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have. In regard to Mr. Carson's question, I really don't know anything about the siting. We've lived there, I think, 7 years now. So what the original construction thinking was, I don't know. But I think the important point to make is that although technically this is an encroachment, it encroaches no more than the existing patio. It's just a different set of rules, which I must say surprised us greatly. But we're glad to go through the procedure if that's what it takes.
Any member of the board have any questions for the applicant?
Did you build the house?
Oh, no. We are the third owners. Just to show you how nice the neighborhood is, the first owner still lives there. He just built a larger house, and the owner we built it from moved over to Stone Ridge, also in Prescott Valley. So, anything else?
Further questions?
Quick question. Out of curiosity, what made you decide to now cover it? Cover your patio,
To what?
Enclose the
to
patio.
enclose your patio?
It's windy up there. I'll give you one example. We have never used, but there was an outside gas cock to connect a natural gas line to an outdoor grill. And we actually had one time where a chair blew over, knocked the gas cock open, and was flooding the neighborhood with natural gas. And fortunately, one of our neighbors in back of us noticed it and went and shut it off. But I mean, we can't even leave furniture out there, even heavy metal furniture, because it just blows away. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I will now open the floor for public comment. Has anyone filled out a speaker card this evening?
No.
I will now close the floor for public comment. And we turn the matter to the board for deliberation.
I'm not sure that I see a hardship here. In the questionnaire for the variance justification it says, and I quote, "You will not be granted a variance if your property can be used even if it is in a manner other than that desired by the owner or applicant." If the covered patio can still be used, even though it's only 8 months out of the year, it still can be used and it meets that criteria.
And when you close it in, it becomes structure.
Exactly. Hence the restriction on the setback.
Problem for future owners there. Have setbacks.
Not a big encroachment, but it's still an encroachment, and I think by the spirit of the zoning code governing the setbacks, that without a hardship, I can't give you.
there any additional thoughts from members of the board? Seeing none, then I will ask for a motion at this time.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to deny the variance.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded that variance V23005 be denied. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Schaefer?
Yes.
Member Howell?
Yes. Yes.
Member Carson?
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Pattison?
Yes.
Chairperson Kunish?
Yes. And based upon the vote, V23005 will not be approved. The motion passed. If there are no further action items on the agenda, I will move in favor of adjournment this evening. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.